What you are seeing here is not just another mega factory. It's a city within a city. This is BYD's Zhengzhou Giga Factory, and it's massive, spanning over 50 square miles or 130 square kilometers. To give you some perspective, that's larger than San Francisco and more than 10 times the size of Tesla's Gigafactory in Nevada. But why did BYD decide to build such a massive facility? What's the purpose, and how does it stand out from the competition? Let's take a closer look at what makes this factory so special, how it works, and why it could be crucial for the future of electric vehicles. Before we jump into the factory itself, it's important to understand where BYD started. Founded in 1995 by chemist Wang Chuanfu, BYD began as a small battery company with just 20 employees. By 2000, it had already become one of the world's leading battery producers, powering mobile phones and other devices for brands like Nokia and Motorola. But Wang wasn't content to stop there. In 2003, BYD acquired a struggling state-owned carmaker and began developing hybrid vehicles. This was at a time when gas-powered engines still dominated the market, making their decision to go electric a huge gamble. Fast forward to 2022, and BYD made a bold move by becoming the first major automaker to completely stop producing internal combustion engine vehicles. They went all in on electric and hybrid technology, and it paid off. In 2023, BYD sold over 3 million vehicles, an 80% increase over the previous year, and generated $85 billion in revenue. To put that into perspective, Tesla sold about 1.8 million cars during the same period. Now, let's turn our focus to the Zhengzhou factory itself. Located in Henan province, right in the middle of China, this factory is not just about size, it's about location. Henan is strategically positioned at the crossroads of major highways and rail lines, making it easier to ship vehicles both domestically and internationally. This central location saves BYD about 20% in transportation costs compared to factories on the coast. Henan also has some of the world's largest reserves of lithium and rare earth metals, key ingredients for electric vehicle batteries. This proximity gives BYD a big advantage in securing the materials they need without relying on imports. Local governments have also made the deal sweeter by offering $500 million in tax incentives and subsidies for infrastructure. They've even invested in rail links to Shanghai's export terminals, cutting down on logistics time and costs. BYD has also partnered with universities in Zhengzhou to train thousands of engineers in battery chemistry and AI manufacturing, ensuring they have a constant pipeline of skilled workers. Construction on this Gigafactory began in 2021, and today, the factory is in phase 5 of 8. When fully completed, the site will house 16 dedicated production lines, each focusing on components like batteries, motors, and final assembly. Right now, 6 lines are operational, producing 400,000 vehicles annually. But when all 16 lines are active by late 2025, this facility will hit a staggering 1 million cars per year. To put that in perspective, it's like producing 2 cars every minute nonstop for 12 months. While it might sound like a no-brainer to build such a factory in China, it's important to note that BYD is not the only company with ambitious manufacturing goals. Tesla's Gigafactories, for instance, are located in key regions around the world, each catering to specific market needs. Tesla's Gigafactory in Nevada is one of the largest buildings on Earth by footprint, spanning 5.4 million square feet and producing everything from battery packs to electric motors. With its focus on vertical integration, Tesla's approach is similar to BYD's, but the key difference is in the location and the volume. The Zhengzhou factory aims to outpace even Tesla's operations in terms of scale. With plans to ramp up production to 1 million vehicles annually, it could soon surpass Tesla's Nevada Gigafactory in terms of car production capacity. This highlights BYD's ambition to scale rapidly and capture a larger share of the global EV market. Tesla's Giga Factory in Nevada, while impressive, only produces about 500,000 vehicles annually at full capacity. This puts BYD's Giga Factory in a strong position to rival Tesla's dominance in the global EV market. But Tesla is not alone in this race. Other players in the EV manufacturing space, such as Rivian and Lucid Motors, are also investing heavily in megafactories. Rivian's factory in Normal, Illinois, for example, is expected to produce up to 200,000 electric vehicles annually by 2027. Lucid Motors is also in the process of ramping up production at its Arizona-based factory. It has an initial production capacity of 30,000 vehicles annually, with plans to gradually increase this to 400,000 vehicles annually by 2028. While these factories are impressive in their own right, what sets BYD's Zhengzhou Giga Factory apart is its ability to keep costs low while maintaining high production volumes. BYD's ability to manufacture almost every critical component in-house, from batteries to semiconductors to air conditioning units, is a key factor in its cost advantage over rivals like Tesla and Rivian. Tesla, on the other hand, still relies heavily on suppliers for many of its key components, which can lead to higher costs and supply chain vulnerabilities. BYD's strategy of full vertical integration, similar to what we see at Tesla's Gigafactory, gives them more control over quality and cost. This means they can offer vehicles at a significantly lower price point than their competitors. For instance, BYD's Seal sedan starts at just $24,000 in China, which is $8,000 less than Tesla's Model 3. The impact of this factory on the global EV market is already noticeable. BYD's ability to keep manufacturing costs low has forced competitors to rethink their strategies. For example, BYD's Dolphin hatchback in Europe is priced $8,000 cheaper than similar models from legacy automakers like Volkswagen and Renault. This is forcing companies to rethink their entire approach to EV manufacturing, driving them to focus on cutting costs and increasing efficiency. In fact, some analysts predict that by 2026, up to 25% of all electric vehicles sold globally could come from this one factory alone. However, there are risks. One of the biggest challenges facing BYD's Zhengzhou factory is its reliance on local lithium supplies. While the proximity to lithium reserves is a major advantage, it also leaves the company vulnerable to fluctuations in lithium prices. Additionally, the global shortage of semiconductor chips continues to affect many industries, and BYD is not immune to these supply chain issues. To mitigate these risks, BYD has secured mining rights in countries like Zimbabwe and Chile, and the company is building additional megafactories in Hungary and Brazil to ensure a more diversified supply chain. These factories will help BYD reduce its dependence on a single region for materials and components, which will help insulate the company from future supply chain disruptions. Sustainability is another major focus of the Zhengzhou factory. The facility features 1.2 million square feet of solar panels on its roof, which generate enough energy to power 20,000 homes annually. The factory also reuses wastewater from the manufacturing process, reducing its overall water usage by 40%. These efforts help BYD offset an estimated 120,000 tons of CO2 emissions every year, which is roughly equivalent to planting 5 million trees. In addition to sustainability, BYD is also investing heavily in battery technology. The company has made significant strides in developing safer, more affordable batteries. One of their most recent innovations is the Blade battery, which has been rolled out in a significant number of their vehicles. The Blade battery is safer than traditional lithium-ion batteries, reducing the risk of fires, and it is also cheaper to produce, helping BYD keep vehicle prices down. As the company continues to innovate, we could see even more breakthroughs in battery technology that could further reduce costs and improve the range of electric vehicles. BYD is also developing next-generation solid-state batteries, which could offer 500 miles of range on a 10-minute charge. These batteries are expected to go into mass production by 2026, and the Zhengzhou factory will play a key role in manufacturing them at scale. If successful, this new battery technology could be a major step forward in the development of electric vehicles. But BYD's Zhengzhou factory is more than just a place for building cars. It's a self-contained city. Over 60,000 workers live in dormitories on site, where they have access to cafeterias, gyms, and free Wi-Fi. There are schools for workers' children and a massive 200,000 square foot shopping mall where they can buy groceries, clothes, and electronics. The campus also includes sports fields, tennis courts, and even an artificial lake for fishing. Everything is designed to keep workers on site, improving efficiency and minimizing the need for external infrastructure. In fact, by 2026, BYD plans to employ 200,000 people at this facility, equivalent to the population of Des Moines, Iowa. The scale of this operation is something rarely seen in the manufacturing world. Of course, as with any large-scale manufacturing operation, there are risks. The biggest risk facing the Zhengzhou factory is overcapacity. While the factory is capable of producing 1 million cars annually, global demand for electric vehicles is starting to plateau. In Europe, for example, some BYD models are piling up at ports, and dealerships have started offering significant discounts to clear inventory. If demand for electric vehicles doesn't grow as expected, BYD could be left with excess production capacity, and the Zhengzhou factory could become a costly white elephant. There's also the challenge of increasing competition. Tesla, Rivian, and other automakers are all working hard to scale up their own production, which means BYD will have to keep improving its products and cutting costs to stay competitive. At the same time, BYD is dealing with external factors like the global semiconductor shortage and potential tariffs on its vehicles. The upcoming carbon border tax in the EU, for example, could add as much as $2,000 to the cost of each BYD vehicle sold in Europe, making it harder to compete on price. Despite these risks, BYD is continuing to expand its manufacturing footprint. In addition to the Zhengzhou factory, the company is also building plants in Hungary and Brazil. The Hungarian facility, set to open in 2026, will help BYD bypass EU tariffs and supply the growing European EV market. The Brazilian plant will focus on serving the South American market, which remains largely underdeveloped in terms of electric vehicle infrastructure. By 2030, BYD plans to localize 80% of its supply chain in each region, reducing its dependence on China for key materials and components. Looking ahead, the future of BYD will depend on its ability to scale production, reduce costs, and continue innovating in battery technology and autonomous driving. The company is already making strides in solid-state batteries and self-driving systems, and the Zhengzhou factory will play a key role in bringing these innovations to market. So, what do you think? Is BYD's Zhengzhou factory the future of EV manufacturing, or is it a risk that could backfire? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.